Hey guys, Chris from Adapt Tuition here, and in this video, I'm going to show you the solution for question 5 of the Jan 2015 PoA Paper 2. If you want to see the solutions for the other questions on this paper, I'm going to put a card up there and a link in the description below. So be sure to check those out as well. And with that said, let's get into the solution. Okay, so we're going to start as we usually do and take a read of the information in the question. So it says, Bubbles Manufacturing Limited is the proposed name of a firm to be set up for making specialty cakes. The owner is calculating the possible labor costs for a 6-month period. The standard elements of these costs are as follows. Okay, so we have a table here, and the table is showing us a few things. So job names, we have designers, bakers, and decorators for the cakes. Number of designers is 2, number of bakers is 5, number of decorators is 3. Pay arrangements, so designers get $6,000 per month each. That sounds like a salary to me. The bakers get $24 per hour, the decorators get $200 per unit. Interesting. Remarks, so bakers overtime to be paid at a rate of time and a half. Okay, so let's see, what are they asking us in this first item here? Name 2 jobs which will be treated as direct labor costs in the manufacturing account of Bubbles Manufacturing Limited. Okay, so remember, direct costs are costs that are easily and directly attributable or traceable to units of finished output. So let's take a look and see what I have here. So it says 2 jobs that will be treated as direct labor costs in the manufacturing account are bakers and decorators. Because if you think about it, if the baker did not do his or her job, the cake would not get physically made. And then after the cake is made, the decorators may put on the icing and whatever other decorations that may happen. The designers are the persons who, I guess, create the designs. So maybe in a way that could be direct. But if I had to make a choice, I would definitely go with bakers and decorators as opposed to designers. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think designers, their pay should be classified as direct or indirect? I want to hear what you think. And remember, your justification is what matters. Okay, so in part B to this question, it says state 2 methods of payment used by Bubbles Manufacturing Limited. So let's take a look up here. So designers, they get $6,000 per month. So that's probably salary. Bakers, $24 per hour, that's an hourly rate. Decorators, $200 per unit, that's piecework. So the answers will say that, right? So it says the methods of payment used by Bubbles Manufacturing Limited are salary for designers, hourly rate for bakers, and piecework for decorators. So said, so done. Okay, let's take a look at the next part of the question. So part C reads as follows. In the first 6 months of operation, Bubbles Manufacturing Limited records the following. So it says type of labor, productivity, and remarks. So for designers, they work 6 months. For bakers, they work 138 hours per worker per month. So pay attention to that breakdown. And 40 hours additional overtime in total. And for decorators, there's an average of 40 units per worker per month. So what they want us to do is to calculate, as they say here, the total cost in the form provided below of all labor used by Bubbles Manufacturing Limited over the 6-month period. Show the working used to arrive at the cost of each type of labor. So let's take a look at that form. Okay, so it says Bubbles Manufacturing Limited worksheet. So the first column says type of labor, designers, bakers, decorators. The middle column is a working column, and your final column will show the total, I suppose. And then the final row down here, you'll add up whatever you have in these 3 rows, going up, going down here, and get the final total at the bottom of the column here. So I did a slightly different format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back up the source information on the screen. So we'll use that in order to calculate what we need. So let's go to it. All right, so we have calculation of labor costs, and we're going to start with the designers. So in the source information, we have 2 designers who work for $6,000 each per month. So let's start off there. So the total monthly pay for designers, so salary per month is $6,000. Number of designers is 2,000. So every month you're paying $12,000 in salaries for designers. And of course, down here it says you worked there were 6 months worked. So all we have to do to find out the total pay for designers is multiply 12,000 by 6, which gives us 72,000. Let's take a look at the bakers information now. So it says that bakers, we have 5 bakers, $24 per hour. And overtime to be paid at a rate of time and a half. And down here, and what was actually worked, we have 138 hours per worker per month. So 138 hours per worker per month. And we have also 40 hours additional overtime in total. So we have 5 bakers who are paid $24 per hour. So let's start populating across here. So let's start with the hours worked per worker per month. So each worker worked 138 hours. If we multiply that by the number of workers, we'll get the total hours worked per month. Now we're going to multiply that by the number of months, which is 6, and we're going to get the total hours worked for the 6 months, which will then multiply by the rate per hour, which is 24, and that will give us the total regular pay for the bakers, to which we have to add the overtime. Now the question did say 40 hours overtime. Let's just double check that here. 40 hours additional overtime in total. And on here, we're going to see that it says overtime to be paid at a rate of time and a half, which means it was $24 per hour for regular pay. Time and a half means 1.5 times that amount. So you're going to see across here now, right, it does say that 40 hours by $24 per hour by 1.5, giving us $14.40 for a total labor cost for the bakers of $100,800. And finally, we have the decorators. So let's just double check the decorators information. So it says decorators. We have 3 decorators and we pay them $200 per unit. So per cake, they are paid $200. Down here, it says decorators, average of 40 units per worker per month. 40 units per worker per month for 6 months. So let's get that calculation rolling. We have number of units per worker per month is 40. Multiplied by the number of workers, 3, gives us 120 units per month. Right? We're going to multiply that by the number of months, which is 6, which gives us 720 units over the entire 6 months. And we're going to multiply that by $200, which gives us the total labor cost for the decorators of $144,000. Now what we have to do is add up all 3 of the totals for each subsection, which will give us a total labor cost for the 6 months of $316,800. Whew, that was quite a bit. Let's take a look at the next part. Alright, so for part D for this question, it says calculate the average cost of labor for each specialty cake made by Bubbles Manufacturing Limited over the 6 months. Show working clearly. So average labor cost, or average cost of labor, would be total cost of labor divided by total number of cakes. We just calculated the total cost of labor as $316,800. The number of cakes, remember from the decorators, it was 40 cakes per decorator, right, for each month by 6 months. So that was 720. And when you divide, you get a cost of $440 per cake. All right. So we have one more part of this question. Let's take a look at it. And finally, for part E for this question, it says Lisa Mondi is a part-time worker with Bubbles Manufacturing Limited. She works sometimes as a baker and sometimes as a decorator, okay, as needed by the firm, and is paid at a special rate. During the first month of operation, her employee record card showed the following. So it says here, name Lisa, baker, 10 hours at overtime rate. Now they did tell us that she was paid at a special rate, yeah? And decorator 20 units. So it says here, right, the firm is required to withhold 10% of an employee's gross pay as Social Security, and Lisa has asked that the firm send $250 to her credit union every month. What do they want us to do? They want us to calculate Lisa's gross pay and net pay for the first month, label the amounts clearly, and show the working used to arrive at each amount. All right. So Lisa, let's just recap some. So Lisa works as a baker and a decorator as needed by the firm, and she is paid as a special rate, which, as we saw here, is at 10 hours at the overtime rate. Now the decorator rate, I think it was just 200 per unit. So I'm going to put that information up as well so we can make reference to it when as needed. So let's calculate one section at a time. Let's go to the baker section first, right? So for her baker needs, Lisa works 10 hours all overtime, and the overtime rate, as it says down here, right? So the regular rate is $24 per hour, and overtime to be paid a time and a half. So that's going to be 24 by 1.5, which is 36, and 10 by 36 is 360. Okay, so next, for the decorator side of it, Lisa makes 20 units. Now, according to the information down here, it's $200 per unit. So we're going to multiply the number of units, which is 20, by the rate per unit, which gives us 4,000, sorry, my apologies. And we're going to add the 360 and the 4,000 together to get 4,360. Now, we have some more information regarding her deduction. So they tell us here that the firm is required to withhold 10% of the gross pay as Social Security, and Lisa asked her to send $250 to her credit union. So we have 2 deductions. Let's take a look at them. So less deductions. So 10%, the Social Security is 10% of gross pay. 10% of 4,360 is 436. We have no calculation for the credit union contribution, which is just 250. The figure was given to us in that paragraph there. We add those two together to get 686, and we subtract that from the 4,360 to get 3,674, which is Lisa's net pay. Okay, there you have it, guys. That's about it for this question. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to check out some other videos up here. Also, subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you know every time I drop a new video. Check out my website for free POA handouts. There's a link also in the description to my Facebook page where you can find free POA math and add math solutions. And as per usual, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.